thing that could happen is we have to go down to Rio and get questioned by the police. I mean,
well, or get taken for $11,000 so that we don't get prosecuted.
Right. Because that I don't have $11,000.
Yeah, apparently that's a thing down there, I guess. I don't really know. It's weird. But hey, hi people.
Hi. We're trying something different tonight. We're seeing if it will work or not. We invited people from our Facebook fan page to join us live tonight and make comments and ask us questions during the broadcast. So we're seeing if it's going to work or not. Right now, we don't have anybody live viewing us, but hopefully that will change during the course of this. So, but I asked my boss this question at work last night. I'm like, given how 2016 has gone so far, with all the crazy stuff that has happened, whether it be politics, just stuff happening in America with, he brought up the Oregon standoff, and I'm like, totally forgot about it. And I was thinking, Black Lives Matter and Olympics and celebrities dying left and right. I'm like, are we near the apex of how crappy this year is? And he's like, I don't think we've gotten to the saturation point of the suckage. So I put on Facebook today, I said, are we at that saturation point? Are we close to that saturation point in 2016 yet? And God bless Baragon reminded me there is no saturation point in black holes. Just a moment. I'm trying to do my best Donald Trump type hair.
Oh, I'll let you polish that up.
And hairspray is what I need, because
right
this part, but I can't get it to do that flip without that hairspray, so I can get that cotton candy look.
Right, that spun look. It's very interesting.
Oh my goodness! Did you see that statue?
Did you know they put one up in San Francisco too?
I heard it went into multiple cities. I didn't know what other cities besides New York. Ugh.
Yeah.
Still tastes bad.
But God bless the New York City Parks Department. That is going to go down in history as the best headline ever. Ever. The New York City Parks Department does not allow any erections in their parks, no matter how small.
How are you going to fine for that? Really?
Amazing.
I'm going to say, New York in summer, there's going to be a girl wearing a sundress. And the dude's going to pop a boner. How are you going to say, sorry, you can't have an erection here?
I mean, they're going to have people that have to put their hands out and touch and find out, and then they'll be arrested for molesting people. It's a downward spiral. New York, let's just.
Oh, parks in New York right now are no boner zones.
No boner zones.
It's a bone-free zone.
Which means, of course, now there's going to be all the boners in New York City.
Right.
All of them.
Darn it, my liner's giving me a black eye. Don't you hate when that happens?
Stupid makeup. You're supposed to make us prettier, not annoy us.
Right?
Some people and their makeup.
I've been in a fight today, and I really haven't.
Donald Trump. But hey, you know what? I got to give credit where credit is due. He is the only politician, political, whatever you want to call it, who has actually done something for the people in Louisiana. Wait, Let me try that again. Louisiana. I say it wrong, and then people are going to be mad at me. Don't be mad.
You know what? I'm from the Midwest, Louisiana. I'm not going to apologize for because it's one of those things. It goes by accent. And I have, for the most part, a Midwestern accent. I do dabble with different accents here and there, apparently. I like the word y'all. I also like saying soda. But I pronounce it Louisiana. That's how I was brought up to say it, and that's how I'm going to say it till I die.
There you go.
But I do. It's one of those things like, I think it was Brandon Moore. No, was it Brandon Morris? Or was it Fishy? Somebody from the blogosphere sitting there going, I hate you people for making me defend Donald Trump.
Jenny Cruda said that.
Oh, Jenny. Oh,
yeah.
I apologize, Jenny. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, because on one hand, you really don't want to like the guy because he's a narcissistic ass for the most part. Now, is he doing this for photo op, or is he doing this generally out of his, own heart? I'm not saying. But the point is, he went down there. I'm not sure why he was handing out art supplies. I would think clean clothes would have gone good. But whatever. Something. He's doing something. He showed up. He made an appearance.
Yeah. And, people are giving him a hard time about Play-Doh, like bringing Play-Doh down there. But speaking from somebody who really likes the Teddy Bear Foundation, which I don't even know, I think Red Cross kind of took that over. But what it was people could donate gently used or new stuffed animals, and police and firefighters would take them for car accidents or house fires where kids are involved, so that they could give a toy to the kid, because a child, their normalcy are their parents, siblings, and stuffed animals. Like, that's their world. And if everything they've owned has gone up in flames, or in this case been drowned, giving them a piece of normalcy is so restorative for them. So having a little bit of Play-Doh to play with to distract them, that's kind of cool. So I really wish people would stop giving flack about that. Like, right. Because it really is kind of a nice gesture.
And I have to admit, I love watching some of the pictures that are coming out. Though, not like I like the flooding. What I like is watching how the community comes together. With how the Black Lives Matter movement has been lately. They're they want everybody segregated, and we can't stand white people and whatever. And you see, when the flooding starts down in Louisiana, none of that matters anymore. They remember we're all human beings, and they're trying to help each other. They come together. They don't care what skin color you are. Are you in trouble? We're helping you. Are you, would you like to get into this boat and out of this creepy water because we don't know exactly what might be in the water? Come on,
Yeah.
Would you like a sandwich? Have some food.
Want a Gatorade? Because you might need it. Electrolyte.
Right.
But yeah, and the juxtaposition of Donald Trump, who has been excoriated for being a racist, going down there, bringing supplies of whatever nature, but he's bringing them and he's going there. And then you have Black Lives Matter. Where are they? Where are they? You say you want to help Black people out, and yet here's a perfect opportunity for you to coalesce and do something actually good. Not burn shit down, but bring stuff to help your brethren. And
right.
Nothing.
Now, to that guy, I want to say one thing. If anybody knows who that guy was from Milwaukee who ripped off a whole bunch of hair extensions from that wig shop, if you could bring that down to Louisiana and help some of those sisters out, they will be much appreciated of it. Mm-hmm. Right now, they're not going to have enough money to get their hair did for a bit. Just bring them on down. We'll forgive you for this one mistake if you just donate the hair.
Donate. It's a nice thing to do.
Right.
But anyway, that actually segues really nicely into one of the things that we actually did want to talk about tonight, which is kind of funny because we're like totally off talking about other things, but that's okay. I know a lot of people saw this rant, article, whatever, blog post, whatever you want to call it. And I'm sorry for the noise. My cat discovered their scratching post, so she's enjoying that right now. But there was a mom who is apparently all upset. I don't know why. That the teacher put her daughter's hair up. A couple things you need to know about that. The daughter in question is black. The teacher in question is white. Now, in the black community, there is a very unspoken but necessary rule of don't ever touch my hair. Don't touch it. Okay, not everybody knows that, especially if you're not black. I know it, but that's circumstances. I used to go get my hair done at the salon, and it was anyway. But this mom, she was mad that the teacher put her daughter's hair up. Well, apparently the daughter was hot. It was hot that day, and so the teacher put her hair up. She had like ponytail holders and barrettes and stuff on hand because kids, that's just what happens. So the article started off, actually, I was kind of on the mom's side when it first started off. She's like, she used a brush on my daughter's hair. Whose brush? I don't know. And I'm thinking, yeah, lice is really prevalent in schools. So what brush are you using? That's a legitimate concern. But as you got further into the article, the real concern was that it was a white teacher touching a black girl's hair. And the mom went so far as to say that if it had been a black teacher, she wouldn't be that upset because it would be a homegirl hookup, helping a sister out. Wait, what? So you're a racist.
Right. We also need to mention that the girl in question is like 5.
Yeah.
Now here's my thing. I don't have kids, but when my niece was that age, I was taking care of her. Things happen at school. I know when I went to school, they had extra pants and shirts because they're kids. Accidents happen, and not all parents can take off work to go and get stuff. Not every, household can have a stay-at-home parent. So they have things on hand to help out for the day. And no one ever threw a fit. Like I said, I'm with Muffy on this one. I was kind of on the mom's side with the brush thing because I don't like people using my brush. Comb maybe because it's easier to clean, but a brush, yeah. But just because of the color of her skin, and it wasn't like she did like a real exotic do. She went, here, it's up. Like kind of like a white girl musty bun type of thing is all she did. It wasn't like, she spent like 15, 20 minutes on the hair. She just, it's up, it's off the back of your neck. Now you can feel cooler, And the mom did lose me. I'm sorry. I have this thing. I was brought up in a non-racist home. I do not understand this mentality. I will never get it. I won't, and I don't wanna. And I feel sorry for the people that have it because they're missing out on a lot of awesome people in the world.
They are. By the way, I put my hair up. It took me about 5 seconds.
Looks nice. I would put my hair up, but yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I get it. People shouldn't be touching other people just willy-nilly. But this is a teacher-student situation. My kids get hugs from their teachers all the time. I have no problem. In fact, I love that because that means there's a connection there. The teacher is paying attention to that student. They're wanting to actually help that student out more than maybe another student. And what I really disliked about this was the mom actually ascribed motive to the teacher, saying that she just wanted to get her hands in black hair. No, she saw a student that was hot and went, well, let's make you not be so hot. Let's put your hair up. And according to the teacher, the little girl asked to have her hair put up. She was hot. So I don't see a problem here at all. Right. Except that the mom is racist.
Right. Now, here's my thing. I keep hearing this thing, like all white people want to touch black people's hair. And I answered this once on Real Raw. And it was, because BuzzFeed did a thing, black people ask white people a question. And what is it about her hair? Why do you want to touch it? And I'm like, plain curiosity if they want to touch it.
Yeah.
Look at my hair. It is straight. The only time it might get a little bit of curl is when I have it past like 12 inches in length. I might get like a little body curl. That's it. But you want to know something? No matter the length of my hair, I still have people asking to touch my hair. Why? Because there's so much of it. My hair is not shaved for fashion. It's shaved because I am so freaking hot. Like, oh my goodness. Like, there's so much of it. So, you know what? I just kind of got used to it. If they ask first, I usually oblige because I really don't use styling products. So I'm like, go ahead, touch my hair. It's a curiosity thing. Because not every white person's hair has the same texture. And not every black person has the same texture. Most Asians have the same hair texture. There's a few countries that are a little bit different. But for the most part, because I actually asked one of the Vietnamese ladies that I worked with if I could touch her hair. Because it's so pinched straight and there's so much of it. And when I picked it up, like I'm used to how heavy my hair is when I have it at a length. And there is such a heft to theirs for that pinch straight and how, dark it is. And it's beautiful. But I'm like, oh my goodness, there's like a heft to it. And she wore it long. And I'm like, I don't know how you can do it. I'm like, I'd be sweating.
Sweating and neck problems. It's a lot of hair to have hanging down and pulls you back. But yeah, this mom is just a racist all around. What happens when a cute little white girl wants to play dress up with your black daughter? You think the white girl isn't going to touch your daughter's hair? Or your daughter is going to touch the white girl's hair? No, of course that's going to happen. Because that's what girls do. I didn't, but that's because I was too busy playing war with the boys in my neighborhood. But,
Well, priorities.
Yeah, I was such a freaking tomboy. It was ridiculousness. I never learned how to do hair, and my poor girls. I have no idea what to do with their hair. Frankly, I would love for their teachers to put their hair up for them because that would be awesome. Because I can't. I don't know anything. I can do a basic braid, and even those turn out kind of weird. And I can pull their hair back in a ponytail. That's the extent of my hair capabilities. So, sorry, girls. Your mom's not that girly. But if this mom, like, I keep going over it. Like, so my daughter is hot. What are the options? Continue to let the daughter get hot and hotter and hotter. Megan suffered a little bit of heat stroke from school, being outside in 104 temperature and doing gym class. She threw up 4 times. It took me forever to get her body temperature down. It was bad. So, yeah, if somebody had put her hair up in a ponytail, I'd been okay with that. Black, white, Asian, I don't care. You helped my daughter not overheat. Thank you. Say thank you.
I guess it's like I said, I don't understand the mentality of how skin color can, dictate who can, do what. Because to me, that's very, very old time thinking. Like I knew growing up, before, like I remember like back in the 80s, there weren't a lot of mixed marriages. Like I remember growing up, for me, a mixed marriage was when a Protestant married a Catholic.
Right.
You didn't see a lot of couples, one black, one white. You would see like Mexican and white, or even Mexican and black, that kind of stuff. Or, Indian and Mexican. But you would never see black, white. That really didn't become all that prevalent until like the 90s, where it became a little bit more mainstream and people started saying we're okay with it and that kind of stuff. But we're like 20 years out from the 90s. Grow up.
Yeah.
We've come a long way as a country. I mean, 1864, we said, okay, you know what? Black men are free. And then NRA came in and said, you guys can have guns. And then the Jim Crow thing happened, and the segregation in the Army happened because of that Wilson did. And then we had to go through that whole civil rights thing in the 1960s, and that got passed. And in the 70s was the best time. I wasn't really alive for that, but going back and looking at some of the comedy that happened in the 1970s was better for racial harmony than 2016. The stuff that people were easy to speak to each other. You could tell there was still some hurt there, but they were trying to overcome it. And and lately it's like what they did in the 70s was trying to come together, and we're trying, and it's 2016, it's like, no, we can't have that. No.
Yeah. And we're headed down that path again. I mean, look at what happened in Milwaukee. Okay.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I hail from Milwaukee. I moved there when I was 13 against my will. My parents took me there. I had no say. I lived in Milwaukee till I was 22. And yeah, okay, I lived in a privileged neighborhood. I went to a privileged high school. Sorry, my dad makes a really good living. I don't know what to say about that. He worked really hard to get to where he is, and I got to reap those benefits. So if you want to call that white privilege, go right on ahead. But his skin color literally had nothing to do with it. It was his education. Anyway, moving on. But in my high school, we had students that it was kind of a school choice program where you could apply to go to the better schools. And some of them were from the very inner city, and some of them were from the outskirts of the inner city. And I had several friends that were part of this bus-in program, only because they were actually really laid-back and cool people, unlike the snooty, snotty people that were at my high school for the most part. Anyway, the neighborhood that is currently a war zone in Milwaukee, I know actually pretty well. I would drive around there frequently because I had friends that lived in that area, not exactly in that area, but nearby. I never once worried about driving around in that neighborhood. Even as a young white girl, it never occurred to me that I was going to be in any sort of danger or trouble. People were really, really friendly. Went to church with my friends in that neighborhood a couple of times, went to their beauty salons a couple of times. I was quite the oddity there because I was the only white person that was at the church and the only white person that was at the salon. But it was really fun, and great eye-opening experience for me, girl from the suburbs, whatever. And I'm watching what's going on right now, and it breaks my heart. It hurts me in ways I can't even explain. You have a community killing itself, sometimes literally, but they're burning down businesses. They burn down a gas station. They burn down a warehouse food, kind of like a very small Costco store. They burn down a beauty supply store. They burn down a tire place, a couple other businesses. Burn them down. Want to know why they burned them down? Because they thought a white officer shot a black man unarmed. No. Holden McNeil. No. A black man was shot by a black police officer because he pointed a gun that had been stolen at that officer, and it come to find out that gun held 23 rounds. Police officers' standard issue weapon will hold probably 13 max in their handguns. So he was outgunned. I'd draw on fire too. But this community didn't wait for the information. They didn't wait to find out that it was likely a stolen rental vehicle that had been pulled over and the occupants fled. They didn't wait to find out that it was a stolen weapon that was drawn on the officer. They didn't wait to find out that the officer was black. They didn't wait to find out that that officer grew up in that neighborhood and knew the guy that he shot. They didn't wait for that. No. Instead, they went around and saying, no, he's white, beat his ass. Why?
That's the other thing that totally floors me. Okay, number one, just burning down your community. That makes absolutely no sense. There's in there going, go after the white people. Then why are you burning down, your own shit? But just to target random people on the street, it floors me. You know
what really pissed me off about the whole thing? I mean, everything pisses me off about it. But there were officers that were injured. They were trying to leave the situation so that it would calm down. The community wouldn't let them leave. They got injured. They radio for help. The EMTs that show up get fired upon.
What? Why shoot at EMTs? They're unarmed. And they have some pretty good drugs. Let the EMTs live.
And they're there to help you. I can see you making the argument that the police officer is not there to help you. But an EMT is always there to help you. Always. 100%. Please leave first responders alone. Firefighters couldn't get to the fires because they were being shot at. Just makes sense.
Leave the firefighters alone.
Again, I understand you can make the argument that the police officer may not be your best friend, but a firefighter is constantly there to help you. You cannot tell me that a firefighter is there to make your day worse. It won't work.
Firefighters make my day better, especially if they're the good-looking ones that keep making that in that New York calendar.
To quote Friends, they're firefighter guys. I love firefighters. I'm married to a police officer, but I'm not going to lie. Fire truck goes by, I'm like, hello. What can I say? But yeah, don't fire upon the first responders, the people that are there who are actually there to help you. And you know who I love the most out of this whole thing? And I mean this,
who?
I mean this truthfully. I know.
Who?
Let's do it. Who is it? Sheriff Clark. That man, heart him, because he called people out. He was like, why are you blaming the police officers? You're the ones that have fatherless families. You're the ones that are going out there and pimping and doing drugs and stealing shit. Why are you trying to make your life worse? Damn. All right. Sheriff Clark, amen. Preach. Oh, I love him.
Sorry. You said Sheriff Clark, and I had a flashback to the movie Lean on Me. The principal's name was Joe Clark. Mr. Clark don't play.
Sheriff Clark don't play. Sheriff Clark is like, screw you all, I'm going home. He was Cartman. Like, he totally took it. I know people have very strong feelings about Sheriff Clark. I know it's hard to see a black man wear a cowboy boots and a cowboy hat and espouse conservative ideas, having grown up in Milwaukee. I understand that this is a difficult thing for people to wrap their heads around, but I met him. And even though he was on his way to something he was already late to, even though there were other people that wanted to talk to him, he stopped and he was gracious enough to take a picture with me. He talked with me for a couple of minutes. Very, 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 very nice man.
Yes.
But he's not messing around.
No.
He will call you out if you were doing something stupid.
Now, I would like to go back to a black man wearing a cowboy hat and boots. Can I remind everybody of this little film called Blazing Saddles?
I love that movie. Where are all the white women at?
Oh my! I showed that to my nephew. I'm like, before I put this in, this movie cannot be made nowadays.
No, and you know what? Actually, I was just listening before we started recording. I was just listening to Steven Crowder, and he said, "Can you imagine them trying to make a show like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or Family Matters now? Because the dads in those, one was a police officer and one was a judge. They would never get that made because it wouldn't be believable. Because, you know, as soon as if you're black and you become a police officer, well, then you're an Uncle Tom and you've turned your back on your own community and blah, 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 whatever that means. I don't know what that means."
Yeah, I read Uncle Tom's Cabin.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
But even with the movie, like Blazing Saddles, like number one, it could be made nowadays because the thing I hate about movies right now is every joke has to be so quick. Like they got to go for that one liner all the time. Like there's no great setup, and then boom, it's just. And then when you watch, like, bring somebody who's like a millennial who's never seen these kind of movies, and you show them Mel Brooks, where there are some fast ones, but there's a slow build up to some. It kind of knocks them off their game. But I like, just so you know, would never be made nowadays. And in that first scene, even at the campsite, they're like, "I want you guys to sing us Negro spiritual for us." Negro spiritual? What you talking? It's a funny movie. If y'all have not seen it, I feel sorry for you. One of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. I can watch it.
And Madeline Kahn. Can we just talk about Madeline Kahn?
Oh my goodness, I am so jealous of her. Number one, beautiful, just beautiful. Number two, awesome singing voice. Number three, hilarious. She had the timing.
It's true. It's true. That's one of my favorite scenes. I need to watch that movie now. It's so good. Yeah, if you haven't seen, actually, just put in any Mel Brooks movie. Honestly, they're all amazing. Young Frankenstein is a huge, Halloween tradition with my kids and I. We watch it every Halloween. We go trick-or-treating, come home, watch Young Frankenstein, and eat candy. That's what we do. It's really fun. And High Anxiety, one of his most underrated movies, but so good. Seriously, watch that. Blazing Saddles, Men in Tights, Spaceballs. Oh my God. All of them. Every single one of them.
Funny. She doesn't look Jewish. You know how old I was before I got that was a joke?
Oh my gosh. That movie is ridiculous. And there's rumors that a second one is happening. Oh.
If it happens, I will be so deliriously happy, just because I love Mel Brooks and his style of comedy, because it's old-fashioned comedy, kind of on the old-fashioned side of comedy, where he can make some crude jokes, but it's not so blatant that you can't have kids watch it. Like I said, I watched these films as kids, and I didn't get half the jokes, but I loved the movie. And then I got older, I'm like, I totally missed that as a child. What the hell?
Oh, you know what movie threw me? Totally and completely threw me. I was like, oh, I need to show my kids this movie because I remember watching it when I was a kid and it was amazing. Back to the Future. I swear, watch that movie. There's a triple X theater. There is oh my gosh. Seriously.
Yeah, made in the 80s. Listen here, little people, little millennials. You guys will never understand the joy of what happened in the 70s and early 80s before these censored helicopter parenting freaking started. Revenge of the Nerds was one of my favorite movies ever growing up.
Oh,
there is so much dirty shit in that movie. There's that scene in the Funhouse moonwalk. There is the super joint. There is just, they showed Bush.
Oh, and then Booger. Let's just talk about the character Booger. Oh my goodness. That movie is genius. And I keep trying to find it because I really want to show my son.
I have it on DVD. I'm not lending it out. So you'll
No, I'm not asking you to. I may buy it if I see it. But Amazon. Yeah, it's
Amazon.
Right. But yeah, there's just these old movies. But yeah, and if you watch the old movies, race means nothing. Nothing in those movies. There's a couple jokes, in Back to the Future, there's a couple jokes about the mayor. When he goes back in time, he's like, mayor, I could be mayor. And he's mopping floors at that time. So that's kind of funny. But really, we have a modern version of something that race doesn't matter.
Huh.
On Netflix, Stranger Things.
I have yet to see that.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Watch it. It's only 8 episodes. It is amazing. Winona Ryder, amazing. 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 It's amazing.
Amazing.
And in case you didn't know, it's amazing.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, watch it. We completely derailed. You know that, right?
Yeah, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, the black hole suckage.
Yeah. But let's get a little bit more back on track here. Because there is something that I'm desperate to talk about. Desperate. So I've been seeing a couple of articles. Okay, as we all know, the Olympics are going on. And I might get censored for this, but I don't care. They are a clusterfuck. I would like to go on record to say that. But one of the stories that keeps circulating out from feminists is that there's this misogynistic viewpoint of the Olympics. That women are being underrepresented underrepresented or represented as just wives and mothers. So I would like somebody to ask how the men's gymnastics team feels. Just ask yourself that. How much coverage have you seen of the men's gymnastics? Do you know their names?
Gymnastics?
We do have a men's gymnastics team. They're very good.
Oh, you know what? The last time I think I heard of the men's gymnastics team was back in '96, because there was that one guy. I want to say his last name was Ham, but I'm probably like way off. Just remember he was a little short, compact dude.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I haven't heard anything of the men's gymnastics, because it's always about the women's gymnastics. The only men I really hear about is Michael Phelps and Usain Bolt.
Oh, we've been hearing a lot about Ryan Lochte lately.
Well, and that guy, who I don't know who is doing his hair, if he's doing his own hair. Yeah, dude. Ooh, peroxide blonde does not look good on you.
It's not even blonde. It's like blue. It's weird. Like, I like blue hair on you. I have purple and pink hair, so far be it for me to judge what color you put in your hair. But Ryan Lochte is very tan. And when you put a cool color on your hair, and I don't mean like cool like Fonzie, hey, cool. I mean cool like as in cool toned color in your hair and you're tan, you start to look like an Oompa Loompa. I just think you should be aware of that. Furthermore, if you get shook down by a overzealous security guard with a gun, try not to lie about it. Like, give that a shot. Maybe tell the truth, or just don't say anything. Nothing. Because when you make up a story about how a police officer robbed you, you're gonna get in trouble. Now, there's some interesting things about that, like 3 minutes of CCTV video, like gone, missing. Don't know where it is. It's weird. The fact that other swimmers were taken off their flights and questioned, and one of them was, again, shaken down for $11,000. No lie. They said if he paid $11,000 to a particular foundation, that he could go free. What? So, anywho, I actually personally believe that this is a huge, big shakedown to get the wealthy people to pay for stuff in Rio. But, you know, what do I know? Just
right.
A little white girl.
I do want to bring up one good thing about the Olympics this year.
Oh, please.
Okay, besides the point that the world has now learned, do not mix chlorine with peroxide. It will turn water green and make it smell like fart. Science! Okay. But my favorite thing, I don't know if you've seen the video on this chick. Her name is Fu, and she's from China.
She's amazing! I love her! Oh my gosh.
If you don't know who we're talking about, you gotta look up the video. Her name is, I can't tell you her last name for the life of me, but her first name is spelled F-U, Fu. And she is just amazing. Like, she is actually from China, but because of how the Unbalancing Act has been in China because of the one-child policy, she's kind of like using this platform to kind of branch out from the quiet, normalcy that most Chinese people have. Like, it's very traditional in a lot of Asian cultures for the women to be quiet and reserved, and she is so not like that. Like, she didn't have a problem telling the reporter she started on her period. She is making goofy faces. She is having the time of her life down in Rio, which is good. Here's the thing. I'm happy for her. The fact that you make it to the Olympics is just amazing, and especially from China, because what I understand from China, they don't play when it comes to the Olympics. Like, they train you from a very small child to make it into the Olympics. Like, that is your life. So the fact that she's able to have fun while down there, it's just, I love it. I love the mentality of that.
She's hysterical. She cracks me up. I absolutely love her. She'll probably pay for it when she gets back to China, and I feel bad about that. But right now, I'm just enjoying her enthusiasm, and just like, she looks at a camera and goes, she gets so excited. She's so cute, and she's just happy to be there, which I wish more athletes would be like that. Just happy to be there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the original point. Sorry, sidetrack. The misogyny that is in the reporting for the Olympics. So I don't remember her name, and I don't remember her husband's name, but her husband happens to be a Chicago Bears defensive lineman. So in the Chicago Tribune, where the Bears play, Chicago Tribune, they did a headline that said, defensive lineman's wife wins gold. Something to that effect.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. So much flack. So much flack. Oh, you can't even use her own name. Oh, you can't do this. Oh, you can't. Despite the fact that there's a picture of her, not of him, but of her, with her medal. Everyone's like, oh, you just have to define her as a wife. No, it was the hometown paper talking about a hometown girl that is married to a hometown boy.
Right. You take the
tying it all together.
Yeah. To me, it's one of those things like I was discussing with I think it was Run Amok. And let's say like Hillary wins the presidency this fall, heaven forbid. If they go to visit England, how would Bill Clinton be introduced? As former President Bill Clinton, or First Lord or gentleman of the of the United States? And because what's the etiquette for it? And Run Amok let me know. Because of how a lot of things run, it goes by the highest office that you've held. So he would be known as former president. So in this case, it's what is more well known that you've done. So this woman, yeah, awesome athlete in her own right, but locally, her husband is more well known. So they tagged her on there so more people would read, and now she gets to be known. I don't really see anything misogynistic about it. It would be like the same thing. Let's say the tables were turned, and she was like a famous athlete for something, in that area, and everybody knew her. And her husband was in the Olympics, but nobody really knew him. The headline would be flipped, sitting there going, local whatever, husband won Olympic medal. Well, then people would read. There's nothing misogynistic. It's just a way of grabbing people in to read the article. That's all it is.
Exactly.
People are too damn sensitive, and they need to get over themselves.
True. And one of the examples of being misogynistic, blah, 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 whatever, is one of the announcers on NBC, apparently when Simone Biles, when she was on the Uneven Parallel Bars, his response to all of that was, I think she goes higher than some of the male gymnasts. And people took that to be misogynistic. No, he was saying she's better than them. Better.
Yeah.
That was a compliment.
To me, that would be a compliment. The only time I get upset with anything that the announcers have said is when this person, like Simone, does an amazing thing. Like gravity means barely nothing to this girl. And they're like, and she did this, this, and this, and she's black.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that the fact that you're black gives you the ability to escape gravity or make it even worse for you. Gravity is worse on you, so you have to work harder to break the laws of physics.
I really think that Dominic Dawes would have something to say about that. Because she's amazing.
Yeah.
And Gabby's pretty amazing.
Exactly. One of those things, I just don't get it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand. But there's this big whole like movement that the announcers. The only thing I saw in an article that said they came even close to being misogynistic was somebody referred to the cycling teams as the men's cycling team and the girls cycling team. All right. I'm gonna say, okay, you have a point. If you're gonna say men's, you should say women's. If you're gonna say girls, you should say boys. Like, okay, I gotcha. But apparently it was only said one time. Once. One time. It was not something that was repeated over and over and over again. But okay, I will give you that. That's it. Other than that, all the other points that they made about misogynistic reporting, like, yeah, you might want to talk to the men's gymnastics team about that.
Right?
Pretty sure they have a different take.
Exactly.
A lot of focus was on the women's gymnastics. In fact, like all the focus was on the women's gymnastics team.
Like I said, I forgot we even had a men's gymnastic team. So, I mean, that just tells you right there. But right. I gave up watching on the Olympics. By the way, I want you to know, in the last couple weeks, I have seen more and more articles coming out about having a permanent Olympic village. And I really hope that the IOC does take that into account. Do I see it happening anytime soon? No, because there's money to be made. Because let's face it, what goes on behind the scenes of Olympics is a lot of it is political. So I don't see it happening anytime soon. But do I wish it would happen? Yes, because it's safer for the athletes. It will make it easier for everybody involved. And plus, you're going to have countries not go into so much debt and, have all that Olympic stuff still there after the Olympics are done for like decades.
Right. So yeah, I agree, and I hope that it catches fire. I hope that it goes on. We're running almost on time, but I want to just say one thing. If you go to our Facebook page, the other night I was able to go see Gary Johnson and Bill Weld speak. If you don't know anything about them, they are the Libertarian ticket in the presidential election. They are going like gangbusters. It's amazing. And going to see them live was eye-opening. I really enjoyed that. I wrote a little something about it. I'm going to put it up on our May Dames Facebook page so you can peruse that at your leisure. But give Gary Johnson a look at.
Yeah, I saw that he is now in a lot of the polls. I'm here. Wait, I just heard a whole bunch of people say what polls. In a lot of the polls, he is beating Trump. He only has half of what Hillary has, but he has more than Trump.
Actually, in Colorado, the young voters, Hillary's at 38, Trump is at 18, and Gary Johnson's at 29.
Awesome. Love it.
So give him a look. This may be very historic if we can get a libertarian candidate on the presidential stage. That would be great.
Johnson.
Feel the Johnson. Hashtag that. He's actually pretty awesome. He's got issues, but they all do. His are less severe than the other two. Just saying. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we made it to the end. We found some rabbit holes, as always. If you take issue with anything that I've said, in-depth girlism, May Dame's page, go right ahead. Let me know.
Hope Sparkles, Twitter, Tumblr. I will get to you eventually. We will try this live again. See if anybody will help add into our show next time. See if we can get this going. If you have any comments of how you think we can improve our show, please let us know either on YouTube, Facebook, or on Twitter. So, love you.
Bye.